Hey, this is John. Thanks for checking out today's video. We're doing a brand new song by Courtney Barnett called If I Don't Hear From You Tonight, off her brand new album that got released today, I believe. If you like the video, please like and subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize this Patreon and get some beginners into some free one-on-one lessons and some affordable instruments. If you'd like to learn more about the Patreon, check out the links down below. You can join for as little as $5 a month, and for this particular video, you're going to get access to a PDF of the lesson and the Guitar Pro file for this lesson so you can play along with it. Let's get started. Normally at the start of the lesson, I would go through a bunch of the chords that we're going to be playing and learning during this lesson, but I think what I'm just going to do is going to go section by section. There's only a handful of chords, but they're played in a few different positions, and there's some really cool picking patterns and picking melodies. So we're just going to tackle it piece by piece and go through it. So let's get started with the intro. So the song starts off with a intro and first verse, and the intro and the first verse are going to have the same picking pattern. And there's so many guitars in this song, probably at least 2 or 3 on this track, that I tried to highlight just the major parts so you get an idea for how the song goes. So the first verse and the intro has a picking pattern that starts on an open B and then an open G. So it's going to play 8th notes. And then it's going to have a first finger on C, 1st fret, 2nd string. And then I've been using my 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. So those two together. And that's going to be the intro and the verse. Also in that first section, the intro and the verse, there is a second guitar part that is sort of just playing along with the chords. So it's playing a low G, so E string, 3rd fret, and then the 4th string open. And then it's going to the C. And that's going to go at the same time as that higher melody. The next section we're going to look at is the first chorus. I'm calling it a mini chorus because it doesn't have the big chords, it just has a picking melody that goes along with it. So if we're going to talk chords first, it's going to go D, and then C, and then G. And then D, C, and then G, and G for another measure. The picking pattern is going to go 3 on the 2nd string, then open on the 3rd string. So, and then it's going to go 1st finger on C, 2nd string, 1st fret, 3rd finger on 3rd string, 4th fret. And then it's going to go back to the open B and open G. It's going to repeat that pattern 2 times, and it's going to end with a measure of the open B and G. So it'll sound like this. The next section we're going to look at is the second verse. It comes about 26 seconds into the song. And it's going to be just like the intro. It's going to be open B to open G, and then the 1st finger on the 2nd string, 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And it's going to play this pattern 6 times. And along with that pattern, you also have that lower pattern. And at times you can even hear some chords going from G to C. Next Next up, we have the first full chorus. I'm calling this the second chorus after that mini chorus. And it's just going to be chords. It's two guitars playing this. One guitar will be playing the first measure. Another guitar will be playing the second measure. But together, it's going to go from D to C to G. And so this D is like an F, like a bar chord, for instance. You would see it like on an F. But it's going to be down on the 10th fret, and it's going to have the first finger barring the first and second string on the 10th fret, second finger on the 11th string, 3rd fret, fourth finger on the 4th string, 12th fret. So it's going to start at D on the 10th fret, it's going to go down to the C on the 8th fret, and then we're going to do a bar chord starting on the 5th string of the 10th fret for G. So that pattern's going to play twice. One more time, and then the second time it's going to do 2 of the G measures, but it's going to play more straight through, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So it's going to go, and then G, and then another measure of G, and then we're going to get into the bridge. So the first bridge starts about 1:02 into the song. It's going to have a measure of C, a measure of G. That's going to repeat, a measure of C, a measure of G. And then it's going to have a measure of B minor, another measure of C. And then it's going to do a climb where it's going to go A minor, B minor, C, and then D. And then D is going to take the next 2 measures, and it's going to be a measure of 4/4 and then a measure of 2/4. So let's talk about the picking pattern in the bridge. Under the C chord, you're going to be playing the 1/4 pattern. So first finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, third finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. So it would go. And then under the G chord, so B and G open. And then when we get to the B minor, we're going to play the 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and the 4th fret, 3rd string. And then under the C, we're going to play first finger on C and then open G. And then we'll have that climb, A minor, B minor, C, D. Next, we're going to look at the third verse. The second guitar is going to be sort of picking through the chords. It's going to go G to C. It'll do that 4 times. And then the melodic part, which is going to be the first guitar, is going to go open B, G under the G chord, and then the 1/4 pattern under the C chord. So it'll do this pattern 4 times. Now, for the next 4 measures of that third verse, the second guitar is going to strum on the 1 of every chord. So it's going to have a G, and then C, Meanwhile, the first guitar is going to be continue to play that melody of the open B and G, and then the 1/4 with C and B. So this pattern would go 4 times. So in all, in that whole section, the picking part is going to go 8 times in a row, and then the second guitar will sort of pick through the chords the first 4, and then strum on 1 the second 4. Next, we're into the third chorus. The third chorus is going to be the same as the second chorus, where it's going to have the D to the C, going to get into the second bridge. Second bridge is going to be the same as the first bridge. It's going to have C, and then G, C, and then G, B minor, then C, and then we're going to have that walk up again with A minor, B, C, D, and then. Now we're talking the picking pattern. It's going to do the 1-4, so from C to B, and then open, repeat, open, and then the B minor, which will be 3 and 4, and then the C, 1 and 0, and then the climb. Getting into the fourth measure is going to be where the guitar is going to drop out for 7 measures. And then on the 8th measure, it's just going to have a little accent note before getting into sort of this single note melody line. So the fourth verse rather, and then it's going to start about 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the song. The first 7 measures are going to be totally empty, dropped out. And then on measure 8, you'll have just a, which is second and third finger on the 12th fret of the 3rd and 2nd string. So that's going to be on 3, the end of 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3. Next, we'll have that little descending melody line, and I'm going to play this really slowly so you can hear it first. If you're going to be playing the chords over it, it's going to go G, to C, G, and then C again. The melody line is going to start on the 2nd string. In fact, the whole melody line is going to be on the 2nd string. It's going to start on the 12th fret. It's going to play 3 beats on the 12th fret and 2 beats on the 10th fret. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it's going to go to the second measure. So that's going to start on 12, the first measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then the third measure in that pattern is going to go from the 8th fret down to the 5th fret. So we'll have 3 beats on 8. And then the last measure of that melodic part would be, so just a single note on the 2nd string 5th fret and then all open 2nd string. So all together it would sound like. So next we have the 4th and last chorus, and it's a double chorus, and it's broken up into 2 patterns. The first pattern is going to be the D that we're used to, and then the C, and then the G. And the last time through it, it's going to play straight through that G part with the exception of the first 8th note, so it'll sound like this. Second half of the chorus, it's going to do the D to C, and then the G 2 times before doing that longer G pattern where it skips everything but the first 8th note. So it would sound like this. And then finally, the very ending, there is a little climb at the end, which is going to go from A minor to B minor to C to D, and then to G. On the record, there's a higher guitar part that's doing the A minor, B minor, C, D, and then G. That's a guitar lesson for If I Don't Hear From You Tonight by Courtney Barnett. Just came out today as we're talking. It's a really awesome song. It's only really a few chords, but there's a lot of different parts and at least a couple of guitars playing it all the time. If you like the video, please like and subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize the channel and get some beginners into free lessons and affordable instruments. If you'd like to learn more about that, check out the Patreon down below. And I think it's kind of a good deal for this particular video. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to the PDFs and Guitar Pro files for a lot of my lessons, including this one. And there's quite a few parts in this one, so if you really want to learn all the different parts in this song, I highly recommend it. Thanks, and we'll see you again in the next video.